Hi friends, welcome back to another video. So this video is starting out a little weird. As you might see, we are not on the Sims 4, build area. That doesn't make any sense. I'm a little out of my element here. So I wanted to do a random house challenge thing, and I've seen other people do it, namely It's Jess did it about a month ago, and I've wanted to do it ever since, but I don't do face cam, so I was trying to figure out a way to do it, and this sort of seems like the best option. I'm using kind of a wheel decide generator thing, so that's what I decided to do. And so I have 4 different tabs, and each one has different options. So I'm just going to go through these, and we are going to land on some options that we'll then have to put together and build a house. So the house building will be a little later, but first I've got to go through this. So the first thing that we have to figure out is what style of home it's going to be. So I have 6 options. There are contemporary, colonial, modern, art deco, craftsman, and ranch. And so there's an equal chance on each of them. I know the wheel sort of looks like a beach ball, but whatever we land on we'll have to do, and hopefully, I'm kind of hoping for more maybe modern or contemporary or ranch. I don't think I've ever done an art deco home, so it would be a fun challenge, but it would definitely be a challenge. So I'm going to just go right along and spin it. And we landed on art deco, so I'm going to have to do some research on art deco and see what I'm able to do there, but it should be fun. And so yeah, hopefully this build turns out. Okay, so for the next thing is color theme. So this one just kind of means, it won't be all solid color. It's not like the solid color challenge, but if I land on like blue tones, then there will be, a majority of like blue in the build. Okay, none. Okay, so that's good. That means I just have free choice to do whatever I want. I almost didn't add that option in there, but I'm kind of happy I did now, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing with art deco. So next up, we have features of the home. So I will actually spin this multiple times. This has some weird ones. I got inspiration for this from It's Jess's video, and so this kind of has a bunch of challenging stuff in it and some other fun things. So starting with the top of the wheel, there is an option for no toilet. I think I could just get by using a bush or something on the lot, but there would be no toilet in the house. And then there's an option for basement. I'm not very good at building basements, so that could be a bit challenging. Then there is 1 bathroom, 1 bedroom, swimming pool, and greenhouse, and last but not least, there's an option for 2 kitchens, which is kind of weird. I don't think a lot of houses have 2 kitchens, or at least a lot of houses in The Sims don't. So I'm going to spin this twice, and if I'm feeling lucky, I can try for another time. If an option gets picked, then it gets taken off the wheel, so it kind of makes my job easier. So I'm going to start this now. Okay, so the house has to have a swimming pool. Well, that's not too bad. Hopefully when I spin it again, that option goes away. I think I said it on this, but I've actually never used this website before, so hopefully everything works out fine. But so currently we are going to have a swimming pool and a basement. Okay, so a basement is going to be a challenge. I know I just did a basement a few videos ago, and I don't want to copy that, but I also don't know how basements kind of, go with Art Deco style home. So I'm going to actually do some deep thinking on this, but I also am tempted to do another spin. I know I've gotten 2 of the better things, but I kind of want a greenhouse. And I don't know if it's worth it just to spin the wheel again. But you know what? I want this house to be as fun as it can be for me and hopefully for you viewing it. So I am going to or spin it again. And I got the greenhouse. Okay. So I'm pretty fortunate in that I avoided, I'd say, the toughest parts. I would kind of want, if I do this video again, I kind of want to make it a little tougher and maybe add some more terrible things in this section. So if you have any ideas on what to add for this, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know, because I think so far I'm wanting to do this again, but I haven't actually built the house yet, so maybe I'll decide then. The last spin is for the world, so what world it will be. I don't have all the worlds on the wheel. I just had some of the fun ones, some of the ones I like, and some of the ones I'm not as fond of. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, Windenburg. So that is, I probably would have rather had Del Sol Valley or Strangerville. I think, I could have made this house maybe work a little bit better in either of those two spots, but Windenburg is one of my favorite, worlds. I just don't know what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to do some research on this. I'm going to, kind of write out everything I need to know, and then I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to, just basically it's going to be the video like normal. Well, that was something else. So, yeah, this build was pretty fun to do. I still am not 100% sure, whether or not this is necessarily Art Deco. A lot of examples I saw of Art Deco homes had very rounded shapes, which was kind of hard to do, in The Sims, because everything's kind of, more boxy and stuff. So, yeah, but overall, I am really happy with how this house came out. I love the look of it, and I loved furnishing this house. I also did a fun thing with the greenhouse that I had to build, and I added it, attached to the building, and then the swimming pool is sort of small and off to the side, but it was kind of tough picking a lot for this house, because I didn't feel like the island portion, or the kind of the the very not rural but open area of the smaller island was just too it didn't fit necessarily, so I didn't really want for it to be there, and then a lot of the other lots in the town just didn't really match with the look of this house. So this lot is a good distance away from everything, so it doesn't really interfere with the style. Though if you pay attention to like the background and all the buildings back there, then this house might look a little weird. But overall, I'm just really happy with how this house looks. And if you want to download this house and put it into another world, that is, absolutely fine. But I enjoyed the challenge of having to build this house in Windenburg. So, yeah, now, one thing to mention is this video was actually almost completely ready, pretty much last Monday. I filmed this video about 2 weeks ago, or the first part of the video about 2 weeks ago, and then everything was finished by, a couple days after that, and it was when I was doing the voiceover for Thursday's video, the kitchen build, or full-scale kitchen build, where I was talking about not wanting to do a basement in that build, and I mentioned that you would be seeing a basement in an upcoming build, and I was of course referring to this house. But as I was talking about it in that voiceover, I sort of realized that I didn't actually add a basement to this house, even though I was supposed to. So that's kind of why during like that point in the voiceover, I kind of slow down when I'm talking, because I'm thinking about it and trying to remember if I had built one into the house, and then realizing that I didn't, and then trying to remember if that was actually part of the requirements that I had to do. So yeah, I had to end up going in and building a basement, which was a challenge within itself, but I'm really happy with how it looks. I ended up building a basement gym with a couple workout equipment and stuff, and it looks very bright and it's nice. it's yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. This whole build really was a lot of fun, and it took a while, so I had to cut some parts out, but I'm really happy with the length of the build, though I do know that this video is going to be longer than my typical videos, but there was really no way of getting around that, because I wanted to make sure there was, the actual wheel spins and stuff involved, and then, the actual build portion. And one thing about the wheel spin portion was I had to cut out a lot of stuff because that in itself was about 10 to 12 minutes long, and I didn't want that much of this video to be, kind of just that. So I had to cut some stuff out, but doing that, I realized that it might look like I may have cheated in some way. I could have, potentially respun or respinned. I don't know the proper verbiage for that, but anyways, I could have done something like that, which I didn't. So, you can take me, for my word, or I'm probably going to upload the whole portion of that video in a separate or in a unlisted video, so you can watch me ramble for a very long time, but that way once and for all that I did not do any trickery or any cheating of any sort. So I don't think anybody's really thinking I'm cheating, but I want to at least have it visible, so if for any reason you want to just see me ramble for 10 minutes, you can. But yeah, so the kitchen in this build is actually rather small. I was originally going to build this house more sectioned off because Art Deco is a style from, I believe, the 1920s, and when I think of older homes, I think of less open concept. I think even though that's not necessarily a modern style, I think it is more popular nowadays. But with this house, I wanted to at least have some parts sectioned off, but the main living space is pretty large and open, with the kitchen being walled off, but the dining room and living room are kind of just take this whole main space. So yeah, this video, I don't know exactly when it's going up. I might have to reschedule the day it goes up, but I'm having a lot of fun building. I don't know when my next video is gonna be, but I've been having a lot of fun building, and this build, it really was a lot of fun to do. I love doing that greenhouse. I think one of the downsides of doing the greenhouse when I did it was, it was the first thing I built in this house, and I don't know, it was the most fun I had with the build, but I really liked doing everything else. It was just weird, I've never really built greenhouses before, especially greenhouses that are inside, and I know technically there's really nothing to grow in there, it's more just aesthetically there, but you can always add some, flower pots and stuff in if you wanted to make it a more functional greenhouse, but for this build I just kind of wanted to have it overgrown with plants. So yeah, I can't remember what I talked about in the last voiceover for this build. It was a pretty long voiceover, but now it's even longer because I had to include the basement footage, and it's I just completely forgot what it was. I probably was talking about something interesting, probably not, but let's act like maybe it was something interesting. So I hope you enjoy this concept of the kind of random wheel spin thing. It took a long time to do this, and I hope you enjoy it. I really would like to do this kind of video again in the future. This in itself took me about a week and a half, though if I did it again, I could probably, get it done in a week. But with the way I do my videos, they do take some time. I don't know if I really talk about how I do my videos, but typically I will do the build, which is always step one, or at least planning the build is step one, and then doing the build is step two, and then after that's done, I get the video, I cut it down, and then I export it because if I was to do the voiceover in my editing software, my computer would be twice as loud as it is normally, and I would have to really like talk over it and then hope that I could, like cut out some of that sound in post-production. And I hate doing that, so I have to export it, which takes like an hour to an hour and a half. And by the time that's done, then I have to watch the video over and do the voiceover, and then I have to go back into the editing software and then take the already exported footage and overlay the audio on it, and then I have to do a lot of stuff to the audio to make sure it sounds decent, but then I can get everything kind of exported and ready to upload. But then with this video, because I did it so close to the release of, I think it was Retro Home, that kind of got in the way of this upload, so I had to take some time, and because of that I was able to realize I completely forgot one portion of the build, which being the basement. So then I had to re-export and like redo a whole bunch of stuff. So it was a long time to get this build done, but hopefully one day in the future I can get a new computer. It's kind of the hope I have right now, is that I can get a new computer within a year or so, and then that would really make my job so much easier, getting videos exported and stuff, because my computer has like technology wise, this might not make a whole lot of sense, and it really doesn't matter, but my computer is not as powerful as like most modern computers. It has 4 cores, which help export, but they're not like 2 real, or they're not like 4 real cores. I think they're like 2 real cores, which means my computer takes much longer to export, and then my graphics card is pretty weak, and so that also makes it tough to export, because I believe the editing software I use does use some graphics power to export, which kind of cuts down time, but if you have kind of a bad CPU, then it's not the greatest, but I'll work through it for now, and I've been working through it for years now, and I was even using this computer for professional projects and student projects and stuff like that, so I can probably get by, but it's just a hassle. So hopefully one day I can have something a little bit nicer. But yeah, so the bedrooms in this house kind of all have their own unique style. The like the light blue bedroom, I think has kind of a very nice bright look to it, and I could really see it being for any sim because of the color scheme, and I really like how it looked. Then the master bedroom, I also really liked. It did also have a lot of blue tones in it, but they were more of the like kind of, I don't know, lighter or even lighter blue tones than the last bedroom. And then the third bedroom actually is a kind of black and gray bedroom, and that was a lot of fun to do. I really like a lot of the objects that they've added recently to the game, but I think a lot of stuff from Vintage Glamour, I believe that's the pack, hold like a dear place in my heart, because I believe that was actually the first pack that I bought for The Sims. I remember I played base game for the longest time, and it got boring after a while, and so I took a break, and then I came back and I was like, I need to make things more exciting, and I didn't have a lot of money at the time, which is like story of my life, but I decided to spend $10 on that pack because I really liked the the items it had, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then as time went on, I had more time and more money to buy packs, and so I kind of went crazy. I still don't have all the stuff packs though. Hopefully by the end of the year I can get all the stuff packs, because I feel like they really enhance builds, especially if you don't use CC, which if you do use CC, even having stuff from some of the packs can be more exciting for your builds. But for me, I don't use CC, so I get most of my cool items from the packs. I do love the look of CC though. There are really some amazing CC creators out there that just make incredible, functioning and like non-functional items, which I think are both great. And maybe one day I'll download some custom content, but I don't know. I feel like at this point I've gone so long without adding any that it would just kind of be weird to play with some. So who knows what's going to happen, but hopefully, one day I'll have every pack at least, and maybe I'll have some custom content. If I don't have like build mode custom content, I might download some create a sim custom content, because I feel like as well as the Sims gurus and the Sims team have done with adding a lot of amazing just like stuff to the build and buy mode, some of the clothing options and hair options do still seem lacking, but I think they're trying. But I think with such a diverse range of people out there, like it'll never be perfect. So I think that's kind of what makes the custom content so amazing, and why when I see amazing custom content I'm just so impressed, and there's just so much out there. So anyways, you can see screenshots are zooming by, and I kind of rambled on at the end. I'm not quite sure what I was talking about, but I had a lot of fun with this build. I really love the greenhouse. If you want to see me do this video or this style again, please feel free to let me know. I am noticing that a couple screenshots are the same, but it's kind of too late for me to fix it at this point. But there also, I should mention that I did change some things around after screenshots and before saving the build, so some of the rooms may not look completely cluttered, but I did have to add some stuff into the build. It's not a lot, just a couple paintings here and there and a couple other decorative pieces. But yeah, I should have taken screenshots again, but I forgot. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please be sure to hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, then subscribing and clicking the bell go a long way. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.